if I swallow a watermelon seed, a new watermelon will grow in my stomach, right? Everybody knows that. It's a good thing we have seedless watermelons, am I right? But if there's no seeds, how do we make more of them? Hey everyone, thank you for watching DNews today. I'm Trace. These days you see way more seedless fruits than seeded. Seedless grapes, watermelons, oranges all come to mind, but natural bananas have seeds, and so do cucumbers. Fruit is by nature a matured ovary around a seed. The flesh of a watermelon or an apple is part of that ovary, so if it's not natural, then what is a seedless fruit? Seedless plants have been around for millennia. Some strains of grapes were documented in ancient Roman times that didn't produce seeds. And in 1872, seedless navel oranges were brought to the United States from Brazil. They were sourced from a clump of freak orange trees, according to a New York Times article from 1902. And thanks to American farmers, they grow everywhere today. FYI, seedless fruits are not genetically modified. No GMOs there. No one's tweaking their DNA to add or remove genes. Instead, they are selecting traits and breeding them naturally. In botany, breeding seedless fruit is called parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpic fruit can often naturally occur due to mutations or problems with sperm and egg fertilization, or through specific hybrid breeding, mixing plants with more or fewer chromosomes to get a sterile offspring. For example, bananas have an extra set of chromosomes. They're called triploid. That's sort of like the fruit version of a mule, so it's sterile. Seedless plants are cultivated by farmers because consumers buy for convenience. Nothing is more inconvenient than a seeded grape, am I right? The Natural Watermelon Promotion Board says only 16% of watermelons sold have seeds these days, but if the seed of a plant is how that plant reproduces, how do we perpetuate that seedless plant? There is no seed to plant. But farmers know the answer to this one because it's easy, through grafting. Farmers and agribusinesses spend lots of capital to produce what they believe is the best fruit for modern life. Watermelon, with its thick rind to survive shipping and no seeds, sell better. So why let nature mess up those perks by allowing them to naturally breed? Instead, farmers reproduce that seedless plant variety, and this has been done since antiquity. It's not new. If a branch is sliced from a seedless tree, it could eventually grow a whole new seedless tree. To increase the chances, farmers today use rooting hormone, a broad term for an antibacterial agent which can be made at home from willow bark or honey or a chemical called auxin, which is naturally produced by plant roots. In fact, most of the fruit that we eat in the US today comes from cuttings, even the seeded variety, because it's an easy way to propagate a single high-yield fruit tree into an orchard of high-yield fruit trees. Especially when they don't have seeds to grow their own offspring though, because you can't use a seed to grow a new tree. Farmers can also graft cuttings onto existing trees, making it possible to have, say, an orange and lemon growing on the same plant. Again, all without propagating using seeds. There is an issue with this though, and maybe you've already spotted it. If farmers plant whole orchards of seedless, high-yield trees based on the cuttings of an original tree, they have destroyed biodiversity. All the trees are clones of that original seedless mutant. If a disease strikes that plant, like in the case of the banana in the 1970s or cacao plants in South America, seedless plants are so genetically similar, they're all infected by the same disease. That means it'll spread really quickly. Biodiversity is what keeps lineages of plants alive when drought, blight, or disease strikes. Some varieties may die, but the species as a whole will survive. If we overpopulate with a single clone, that won't work. Seeds help propagate biodiversity, and as an added bonus, seeds themselves are super nutritious. Heirloom plants may not look like the fruits that you see in advertising. They have a variety of colors and sizes and shapes. But some stand up better to disease, and some don't. Some have better flavors, and some don't. As a consumer, we have to use our best judgment and buy not for the sake of seed, but for what we really want out of our food. Do you like seedless or seeded? Do you even notice? Tell us down in the comments. And while we're all thinking about fruits, cashews, they're a fruit too. Weird, right? Go learn the difference between a nut and a legume here. These delicious snacks are actually the seeds of a cashew tree, which are attached to the bottom of a fruit called a cashew apple. It's the seed in the center of a fruit and is therefore not a nut, but a drupe. And thank you for watching DNews.